So we're here with Scott Juneau from American Racer Tire here at the PRI show, and I just want to talk to Scott. Thanks for coming on with the North American Formula 1000 Championship, and I just want to say for this inaugural season, you guys have provided an amazing tire for us, and I just want to say, what brought you guys to the North American Formula 1000 Championship?
Well, we like working with, first of all, we started working with Nick Mayer and Alex Mayer and looking to develop a sports car tire. And so they were a very good platform for us, and just getting into the open wheel sports car world is exciting for us. So it's what we do. We make tires, we make racing tires, and if you've seen these cars run, you'll know why you get excited about putting tires on these cars.
If you had to tell somebody, another sponsor, or another driver or fan, what's the best thing about it? Why should they run NAF1000?
Well, I think it's for open wheel. What would appear to me to be in the world of open wheel racing, it's fairly affordable, I would think. I know that we try to provide a product that isn't going to break the bank from a week-to-week basis. Why should you become part of it? It's cool. It's just cool. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. I like road racing. Obviously, cut our teeth on the oval track. But it is really, really neat stuff to watch, and we really enjoy being part of it.
I appreciate your time, and thank you, and enjoy the rest of the PRI show, and thanks for having us. Thank you. Have a good day. So we're here with Ryan Delling of Youngblood Wheels here at the PRI show, one of the North American Formula 1000 Championship sponsors. And I just want to say, once again, thank you for coming on the series. And what drew you to Formula 1000? What brought you guys and this company to this series this year?
Well, it's grassroots racing, and that's what Youngblood's really all about. We're all about the amateur racer that does most of the work himself. That's what draws us to the F1000.
Well, that's wonderful. I know you guys provide a very wonderful quality product, very lightweight wheels. Everybody's very happy with them. I know the JDR car comes standard with these Youngblood wheels. A lot of guys are still using some other competitors, but we're trying to work on that. But I know that a lot of guys have said that this inaugural season they just fell in love with these cars. Have you had a chance to get out to the track to hear them live and in person yet?
Yeah, I've been working with the Formula 1000 cars for quite a long time now. So yeah, no, I know exactly what they're all about. So
good. So I got to say, if you had somebody ask you why they should get involved in Formula 1000 as a driver, a fan, a sponsor, whatever it is, what would be your number one reason?
I think it's cost and the way that you guys are running the series, where it's more of a competitor-owned or competitor-driven series. I think that's better than having a full sanctioning body, dictating the rules. Everybody that runs the series kind of has a say in what's going on with the series, and that's what I think would draw people in, and that's why I push people over to the F1000 series.
Absolutely. Getting everybody a vote and where they race and what money to pay out is an amazing thing. So I just want to say again, thank you for letting us interview here at the PRI show, and again, thank you for supporting the series, and we're looking for an amazing 2018, and I know you guys were rolling into it. I hope you get a chance to come out and see some of the races next year. We'll be up and down the East Coast, so hopefully we'll see you out there. Absolutely. Well, thanks again, Ryan, and thank you. Have a good day. So we're here with Michael Truba, the new sponsor of the NAF1000 series with his company MPT Industries at the PRI show. And I just wanted to talk to Michael. Michael, you jumped on this series for the runoffs, and you're coming on for 2018 to provide this true full synthetic oil to the NAF1000 championship. What drew you to Formula 1000?
I just think it's a great series. It's so competitive, and it's affordable, and just about anybody that's driven a Formula car can get involved at a low cost.
Absolutely. That's one of the things everybody talks about, the low cost and that. These oils that you guys have, it's true full synthetic. It's a non-petroleum based product. So it's completely different than what most people expect to be oil. Can you kind of break us down a little bit for those that don't really understand the technicalities of it?
Well, without getting into a lot of detail, a true synthetic, in our opinion, is one that's made from laboratory type molecules. It's nothing that's pulled up from the ground. It's not a petroleum base. So we use ester and PAO, or polyalpha olefin base stocks, in the manufacture of our race oils, as well as our higher end 30K performance oils.
Okay, so it just gives a little higher viscosity, a little higher breakdown. You're not going to lose that. You can run really high RPM, and you're not going to lose anything. It's not going to break down on you, is what you're saying, right?
The nice thing about these types of base stocks, esters and polyalpha olefins, they have a much better ability to deal with heat and friction. They won't thin under high temperature. It won't break down, correct. So, and they last longer. They just hold up better.
Which that's for a 13,000 RPM motor, and these things definitely need that kind of thing. So I know that you came to the runoffs, and the first time you came to the race with it, what was your experience with Formula 1000? I know I love these cars; they sound amazing. I mean, did you just fall in love with them the minute you heard them?
Absolutely. It's it kind of sounds like an Indy car. I mean, it's just incredible the sound. I think if you close your eyes and you just listen, you think you're listening to an Indy car race.
Absolutely. So this is the third day of the PRI show. I know we're all exhausted at this point, and it's a little crazy, but it's we've only got a few hours left. But this is an exciting show. I wanted to say thank you for letting us bring the car here. We have another car on display, and again, thank you to MPT. This has been an amazing weekend. Tons of fans that come by for the cars and stuff. I hope you've gotten a little bit of sales out of this, but I know that we're looking forward to next year. And you're going to come down and join us at our Road Atlanta race for the opening race of the 2018 season.
Well, I'm sure I'll be at some of the races. Not sure if I can make it to Road Atlanta, but I'd sure like to. Let's see what happens.
All right, well, wonderful. Well, again, thank you for everything, and thank you for coming on to the series, and we'll see you next year.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
So we're at PRI with Jerry Hodges, designer, engineer, and creator of the JDR Formula 1000 car, the 2017 national champion from SCCA, the 2017 Formula 1000 Pro Series champion, and the 2017 Formula 1000 Pro Series manufacturer champion. So, Jerry, I've got to say that you built these cars. I think you have 6 or 7 out on the track now. You won 3 titles in 2017. I know you won the runoffs a few years ago as well. What excites you the most about Formula 1000?
Well, it's the biggest bang for the buck you can find in road racing. It's the fastest cars out there other than Indy cars. And for the price, it's a third of a Formula Atlantic car. They turn 13,000 RPM. They're very exciting. They're very challenging to drive, cornering at 3Gs and braking at 3Gs. And when this class first came out, I said, I've got to build a car for that.
So you've built, how many cars do you have on track now?
6.
6 cars, and you've got, I think it was 76 race wins, 14 championships, and 13 track records across the country. I know you have many winning drivers. We brought on this new oil for this series, for this MPT. What do you think about MPT Industries?
I was actually looking for the last several years for a true synthetic motor oil manufacturer. Most of them have gone away since there were some rulings that allowed petroleum products to be modified and called full synthetic. He's the last one I can find in the United States, so I sought him out, and we put a deal together to come on board in the series and help out with the series. I will not run anything except a full synthetic oil in these cars because we run oil temperatures that are above what a petroleum product will tolerate.
Okay. So the 2018 season is the sophomore year for this championship. After 2017, the inaugural season, I know all the drivers love it. The sponsors are happy. The drivers are happy. The media's happy. I fell in love with these cars first time I heard them. What is your anticipation for 2018? You see this. I know the drivers voted to go to a few new tracks next year. So what are you thinking about the sophomore season for this series?
We're going to continue to grow. Our numbers have grown every race since we started in the beginning of 2017. We're averaging somewhere in the 15-car range now. I expect to see more than that in 2018. The prize money is going to go up. The drivers are going to be even more happy. And we're also looking at some standalone races where we absolutely run by ourselves in the future.
Well, I know that individual track time, individual run groups. That's a big thing. A lot of the drivers. Well, you want to explain the power plant for this? I know it's a 1,000cc superbike motor, but what's the details? Like, how outlandish can you get? I know a lot of people talk about motorcycle motors, and they had them in D-Sports Racer for a while, and they started costing $20,000, $30,000 because guys were just doing outlandish things to them. So, what's the power plant like in this car?
These are bone stock superbike engines. We're not allowed to do anything internally on the engine. We're allowed to play with exhaust, which would have to be built to fit the car in any case. We're allowed to change the oil system to a dry sump system, and we're allowed to change the airbox and the velocity stacks. That's all we can play with. Turns out the stock airbox is the best one. Nobody's come up with a better one. And turns out the stock velocity stacks are pretty much the best compromise. Everything's a compromise.
So it keeps it cheap, basically. It's inexpensive because it has to be stock. So where do you get these motors? Like, if you need a new motor for these cars and you're racing it, where do you find a motor?
Oddly enough, when they sell these 1-liter superbikes to street riders, within a month or so they crash it. and there's an abundant supply of low mileage used motors out there, then that's where we get the motors.
So a lot of street bikes crash, really. I don't think a lot of people know that part. So a lot of readily available bikes out there with good motors in them, low miles that you can pick up. That's pretty easy, right?
Absolutely. We pick up motors for about $3,500, and if you don't over rev it, if you keep it cool, you keep enough oil in it, and you don't stupid things like leave hoses off, you can run them a full season, a long season. I have one guy that's got the motor in the car that's starting his third season.
That's pretty much like any car. You keep oil in it, you keep the water in it, you don't over rev it, it's going to last a while. That doesn't, it won't live if you don't have oil in the motor. That's not a good thing. So what is your experience with this car? I know, you won 3 championships in 2017. You have 2 cars. I know you're building 2 cars this winter. What's your hope for the future of this series?
I'd like to see the series obviously increase in numbers, increase to the point where it is a major player in the lower level racing in the United States. Part of what some people call a ladder to the bigger ranks like IndyCar and Formula One. I'd like to see this class fit into that, this series fit into that program. To do that, we are actually looking at expanding when we say 2019 and 20, bringing in additional motorcycle-powered cars, say a 600 engine and a smaller, lighter car without wings, and let's say a Hayabusa engine and a car similar to this that with slightly bigger wings and tires, to have a 3-tier motorcycle-powered series.
Sounds like it'd be fun. A motorcycle road to Indy is how I guess I said that would be a road to F1 maybe.
That's probably a little ambitious, but the goal is to have definitely a 3-tiered motorcycle-powered series. So.
Okay. Well, that's wonderful. I know that we've had a lot of interest in the cars. Everybody seems to love them, and they've got this video playing. They sound amazing. Anybody who hasn't heard these cars yet, check out some of the other YouTube videos. Find these cars, 13,000 RPM. They are absolutely the best sounding cars in American motorsports at this point. They sound better than an Indy car. That's the honest to God truth. So, Willie, once again, I want to say congratulations on a phenomenal season. 3 championships in 1 year. That's kind of hard to top. I hope 2018 is as much success, and thank you for taking the time to speak with us, and best of luck in 2018.